Of our previous video on Jennifer's tigers. In our previous video, we have analyzed the text. Uh, in a nutshell, let us quickly recapitulate what we have read on. Jennifer is making patterns of tigers on a screen, and she is making those tigers exactly what she is not, that is bold, confident, free, certain, etc. Whereas Aunt Jennifer is timid, meek, fearful, etc. The tigers have a very bright color, just like that of topaz, and the tigers are living in their own habitat. Right, and Jennifer, because of her traumatized marriage, she is emotionally and physically devastated. So she is so devastated that she cannot even pull the needle that she is using to sew the pattern of tigers on the screen. She is finding it very heavy because the wedding ring that is there on her hand has put on its massive weight on her hand, has put on its massive weight. That means what? Metaphorically or symbolically, the marriage is so unhappy and the marriage is so burdensome that it has taken a toll on Aunt Jennifer's emotional and mental and physical health. However, at the end, the poet says that even Aunt Jennifer could not establish any sort of identity during her lifetime, and hence with her death, her identity is lost. However, her creation stays for always. The poet says that even her death would not be able to free her from the terror that she has had during her married life. Okay, and because of the obligations and the rules and regulations prescribed by her husband during the married life. Okay, that is the terror that was inflicted upon her, and she would not be free of that even in her death, because her terrified hands will have the wedding ring. However, she will die, but her tigers will live by. She will die, but her tigers will continue doing their energetic and lively activities. Hence, with this poem, Adrienne Rich voices the suppression of the women who are subjugated in the marital discord or in unhappy marriages, and who find expression or channelize that in some way or the other. All right, let us start. This is a study in feminist literature, the dichotomy of creation and immortality of art. So, what is the premise of the poem? Aunt Jennifer Tigers addresses the crushing constraints of married life a woman experiences in a patriarchal society. Aunt Jennifer serves as a universal symbol of an oppressed wife seeking escape from the traditional institution of marriage through the freedom of artistic expression. This is what we were talking about, that Aunt Jennifer represents all those wives who have been oppressed in the marriage, and they are seeking some kind of channel to escape that burdensome marriage through some kind of expression or art. Let us look at the contrast. Okay, Aunt Jennifer, how is the creator? The creator is trapped in patriarchal marriage, whereas the creation, that is the tiger, they are they are walking confidently through a forest. So this is stagnancy, this is mobility. Okay. Second, the creator Aunt Jennifer is fearful, delicate, burdened, meek, etc. That is imprisoned. Here, the tigers are fearless of the men beneath the tree, that is, unaffected by the presence of men. That shows their confidence and boldness. Third, the hands are trembling under the marital obligation, whereas the tigers symbolize ultimate freedom and strength. So this is the oppressive reality that the lady, that is Aunt Jennifer, had to undergo during her lifetime, and this is the fearless fantasy that Aunt Jennifer wanted to achieve. Okay. However, there is a very important central dramatic irony, that a terrified woman stitching a world of fearless beasts. This is a very, so this women on Jennifer, unlike any other person. Now see, this is very, this is a natural instinct of a person to be scared, petrified of tigers, right? If a tiger, tigers are symbols of fierceness and you know, fear, right? We all are fearful of tigers. Now look at the oppression that Aunt Jennifer has experienced. She is so frustrated with the patriarchal society and the rules and regulations prescribed by her husband in the traumatized marriage, that she is, for her, even tigers are better, although they are also very fierce and ruthless. But as compared to the men represented by uncle in her marriage, as compared to the men, even the tigers are a safe escape. The image of the tigers are is a safe escape for Aunt Jennifer. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across the screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. What does it mean? We have explained the, we have understood the meaning. I am just showing you what a topaz means. Topaz is a bright, transparent yellow stone which symbolizes brilliance, vitality, and high value. Unlike Aunt Jennifer's dull life. Okay, denizens means proud inhabitants who fully belong to and dominate their environment. Unlike Aunt Jennifer, who is imprisoned, who does not have the sense of belongingness in the place that she lives in. What is the meaning of chivalry? Bravery, honor, and grace, moving with independence and gentlemanly certainty, something that Aunt Jennifer has never experienced from the end of the male counterpart. Okay. Second stanza. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon her hand. Now, fluttering means trembling. We have seen, we have read this. Fluttering means trembling, moving with a light trembling motion, indicating what? Nervousness, weakness, physical strain. So Aunt Jennifer is physically so devastated, so weakened, exhausted, that she is finding the ivory needle very heavy to pull. A tool of domestic art, ironically heavy despite being made of refined bone. So these are, uh, in literal sense, these are very, very lightweight, right? So this is a hyperbole that has been given here in order to show that even that weight is very heavy for her. Why? Because the massive weight of uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon her hand. That means uncle's wedding band is used to show ownership. The ring belongs to him, not her. Here, the poet could have used the massive weight of her wedding band. Instead of her, Adrienne Rich has used uncle's wedding band. That means what? She does not have any voice, any sense of belongingness in the marriage. She is completely in control of the husband, of the husband represented by the patriarchal society. The massive weight, it is the literal metal is light, but the metaphorical weight is crushing. We have understood this. It is very it was a burdensome marriage. Let us now break the symbolism. Literal meaning: the simple band of metal given during a wedding ceremony, that is the wedding ring. However, the metaphor is, it is the patriarchal control, absolute marital dominance, suffocating responsibilities. And what is the impact? The loss of personal identity, the loss of physical beauty, the loss of emotional beauty, etc. Okay, look at this, very important. The act of sieving, normally a delicate domestic task. Now, sieving is a very delicate and a very, uh, very, lightweight weight task, right? But it becomes impossible because her hands are paralyzed by the emotional trauma of her marriage, hence her fingers are fluttering. Creator versus creation. Aunt Jennifer, trembling, weak, exhausted, but in her imagination represented by the tiger, sleek, pacing, that is moving and energetic. Emotionally, she is terrified and burdened. The tigers are proud and unafraid. Attitude towards men, she is controlled by the men, that is husband, whereas the tigers are fearless of the men. How is the color being used? The color palette is very important here. For aunt, ivory, that is pale yellow color, pale wool, heavy metal. Okay, lack of lushness, lack of vividity in the color is there, whereas for the tigers it is bright topaz, lush green, etc. How are they continued? That is the legacy. How is it being continued? Aunt Jennifer is trapped in death. Okay, even death could not free her. However, the tigers were immortalized in art. See, metal or gold, constraint and control, a color not of wealth but of inescapable metallic shackle, that is metallic chains. Ivory, fragility and domesticity. The pale delicate needle represents Aunt Jennifer's constrained domestic existence and physical weakness. World of green, that is of the tiger, life and freedom, represents a natural expansive world where the tigers move with complete confidence and independence. And bright topaz, vitality and brilliance, represents the precious, striking and untamed spirits of the tigers. All right, let us look at the poetic devices. This is an imagery as well as this is a metaphor. Very important. Please note it down in your textbook as well. Metaphor, why? Because topaz has in the color of the tigers has been compared with that of the topaz, the brightness. Okay. Fingers fluttering, prancing, proud. These are alliteration. Personification. The massive weight is sitting heavily. This is personification. This is metaphor as well as hyperbole. Okay, I'm so sorry, this is not metaphor, this is hyperbole. Okay, and symbolism. Uncle's wedding band is representing the entire patriarchal domination um, perpetrated on women. Okay, gives the emotional active way to an in an okay, this is a personification. Lines are continued without pause, which is enjoyment. This is less important on the, from the board's point of view. The others are very important. What is art? How can art be viewed here? Art is Aunt Jennifer's way to rebel against the patriarchy that she has undergone, right? The triggering force, the catalyst, was the oppressive reality of the patriarchal constraint and the societal expectation. The physical impact, she has been emotionally and physically weakened. And how is this rebellion taken? How is this rebellion the how is this rebellion concretized? Through the use of the ivory needle, art becomes the only accessible escape route, a quiet tool for profound expression. And what is the output? The immortal, fearless tigers. This is her alter ego, that is her imagined self. The last stanza, when aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie. Terrified hands means it is a transferred epithet. Even in death, her physical body retains the trauma of her life. Still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. Ringed means the it is an example of pun. Please write it in your textbook. It is an example of pun where there is a play of words, double meaning word, right? Here ring means surrounded, as well as the wedding ring that she had worn, um, giving access to her husband who would dictate her life. Okay, ordeals she was mastered by. However, the masterpiece that she has created, that will be immortalized, that is the that will keep on living. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing proud and unafraid. The indestructible spirit of creativity that survives the artist and achieves immortality. Ringed is a metaphor as well. Literally it is the wedding ring, but metaphorically it is the endless loop, that is the rules and regulations that have been given to her, that have been imposed upon her by the uncle. Ordeals she was mastered by the inescapable trap of patriarchal expectations that surrounds and suffocates. So the word ring provides that marriage was not a union but an encirclement. It was a trap, okay, for her. She was taken a prisoner. When Aunt is dead, the creator's reality, her physical self is defeated by patriarchy. Her terrified hands are put to rest, but rings remain. That means her physical, the even death could not free her from the terror that she had to encounter during her life. What is her art? The tigers, the product of her imagination, will live as immortal symbols of courage. Okay? Aunt Jennifer cannot change her reality, but her inner desire is achieved. Inner desires achieve immortality through her art. The creator is mastered, that is imprisoned or trapped, but the creation is free. Okay. So at last we can see how the inner voice has been channelized here. Adrienne Rich's poem teaches us that even under the crushing weight of social and personal hardships, the human spirit seeks a conduit, okay, seeks an escape. Aunt Jennifer was physically trapped, but she stitched her dreams of courage into existence. Art, imagination, and voice outlast the systems that try to suppress them. Long after the artist is gone, the tigers keep pacing. So, what can we understand out of this? That whenever there is societal subjugation or personal subjugation, not the physical existence of the person who has been subjugated or who has been suppressed, but art, imagination, writing, literature, etc., can help you escape from that trap and help you voice your own feelings. All right. I hope the poem is clear to all of you. If there is any doubt, please feel free to reach out to me. Uh, Ask me during the class. I'll also be sharing the classroom videos as well as and whenever we do the subsequent lessons. Thank you, students. Have a good day.